Okay, so tell me about the film. Like, what was the inspiration behind it? And, like, was there a message that you were trying to convey? Or because it was so good. It was so
Thanks.
good.
Yeah, originally, I don't know exactly how I got the idea. I know there was a day that it came to me. Basically, she's choosing between her passion, career, and her boyfriend, and that's the main surrounding that process of like her moving on and becoming, stronger and better. The other thing I wanted to encompass in like the script and everything, I wanted to do a film about like a powerful like woman
Right.
and like doing what's best for her
Yeah.
because of all the women in our family. And I wanted to do something like that, just like a powerful, strong woman, like doing what's best for her and like,
I love that. We do come from a long line of powerful women.
Yeah, so I was like, I want to do something with that.
Life gets tough, and I know it's hard to cope with the unknown. For all of us, I know it'd be easy if we were perfect, but we're not. So we go to find our fate, to find our hope. It all begins with looking up. It all begins with you. It's time to elevate. We sing it loud and proud. We make our voices known. Nothing can shut them out. Elevate. Shout it for you and me. We can do anything. It's time to set us free.
Welcome back to Time to Elevate podcast. I'm your host, Ann Lucente. Today's episode is particularly special because I'm introducing someone who's not only incredibly talented, but also holds a very dear place in my heart. My nickname for her is Petunia. I don't know when or why I started calling her that, but it always felt right. So I decided to look up the meaning of Petunia and found that this is no coincidence. Petunias signify perseverance and hope. They are the floral embodiment of an unwavering spirit, often shared as tokens of kindness to new neighbors or friends. Much like the flower she's nicknamed after, she has always been a symbol of perseverance and hope. From a young age, her unwavering spirit and determination was evident, whether she was singing, acting, or simply enjoying the company of friends and family. But before I bring her on, let me tell you a little bit about her. She's an aspiring actress originally from upstate New York. A graduate of Western Connecticut State University, she honed her craft in theater performance and discovered a love for behind-the-scenes work as well. While she has a great love and respect for the theater, she is currently focusing on film acting. Having recently relocated to Charleston, South Carolina, she's embracing the vibrant arts scene of her new city while continuing to pursue her acting career with enthusiasm and commitment. She's excited to continue working towards her future in the film industry and hopes to become involved in all aspects, from acting to directing to filmmaking. Today, I'm thrilled to welcome actor, director, filmmaker, and best of all, my sweet Petunia, my daughter, Julia Rose Purdy.
Hi.
Hi, Julia Rose.
Hi, Mom. That was good.
Because you're good. I never knew the meaning behind Petunia. Do you remember when I first started calling you? It's been from young.
Yeah, I don't remember. I think it was just forever.
I know, and it fit
Yeah,
perfectly.
the Victoria Beauty.
And Victoria's Beauty. Victoria was the my first guest on here, who, for those of you that don't know, Julia and Victoria are my daughters, and they're twins. And Victoria was the first guest when I started having guests, and now Julia's here. I'm so excited.
Yay!
I'm so excited. Because
Me too.
Yes. And so being a twin, you don't want to be compared, and I'm not going to compare you because you're completely different. I have so many things to talk to you about today, and there's no comparing. So what's going on? First of all, before we even start, I want to know where you're living right now. Who are you? What's happening for those people that don't know you?
Sure. I'm living in Charleston, South Carolina, which is also where Victoria is. But I'm living in Charleston with my boyfriend. And yeah, I like it. It's really hot right now because it's midsummer. So it's like 95 and humid every day. But other than that, it's really nice.
It's nice down there. So you were up here and you were, tell me the move. So you were in the Hudson Valley.
Yeah, I was in the Hudson Valley, and then I moved to Norwalk, Connecticut with Maddie, with one of my best friends, and then Victoria. And then from there, I moved to Norwich, Connecticut with my boyfriend into his house, and then we went to Charleston. So, but
Right.
originally from the Hudson Valley.
Right. And
Yeah.
cool. So
Yeah.
what do you like about Charleston?
I it's just so pretty. It feels like on vacation all the time. It's just cool because I work downtown, so it's just driving through the city every day, which is nice.
Yeah.
And just seeing the palm trees and everything. It just feels like vacation. It's really hot, so I really like the more towards October
Right. Right.
from last year, from what I remember. But yeah, it's just the sun's out most days. It rains also most days, but the sun comes back usually.
It's nice compared to here in New York, right? So we have
Yeah.
like winter where we have snow, and you just have the hot weather. I think I would deal with the hot weather more than
I like
I
it
would deal.
better. Yeah, it feels like summer lasts way longer, which it does.
Yeah.
Like this is where people stay inside,
Right.
but in New York, you stay inside for the 6 months of winter,
Right.
basically.
Which is pretty
Yeah.
painful. Unless some
Hmm.
people like it. I don't know how. I don't.
I like the snow. I miss the snow,
Yeah.
but not driving through it.
Mhm.
Only like watching it. But it doesn't even snow that much anymore in New York. Like
It
you
doesn't.
only
It
get some
yeah.
good snow days.
Yeah, I like it at Christmas, like it just snow on Christmas Eve. Good. Over.
Hmm.
It's like when you have to do things and you're like it just destroys everything.
Yeah, I know.
It's terrible.
Annoying.
So, before I ask you about your journey, I wanna say a fun fact about Julie Rose Purdy, is that, she has no idea how talented she is, and I'm not just saying that because I'm her mother, but she really has no idea. I'm gonna spill the beans on you. Anytime, like, when I said I was announcing you today as an actress, well, you said actress, and I said, "And director and filmmaker," you're like, "No." I'm like, "But you created a film and you directed more than once because 'cause we'll get into that, but you have no idea that, you did it. You've done it. You don't have to do it a million times to be one because you're very talented. I'm just gonna say. She's very humble, and
Thanks.
she has a
I
hard
don't
time
even.
listening to this right now, but
Mhm. It doesn't feel like. I mean, I would love to be like, yeah, I'm humble, but it just doesn't feel like I'm a filmmaker or director. Maybe it will the more I do it, but I just feel like. But that's how people start, I guess, just like using their phone and like doing it
so
like more and
what would
more.
make you feel like you were a filmmaker or a director? What would make you feel like it?
I think maybe more like camera equipment, like, knowing how to use that. But also, people make films on their phones, and it's like not just as good, but like a good
Mhm.
free starter way. I don't know.
Well, I know what you're saying, but, nowadays is so different. If it was
I
years
know.
and years ago, I'd say, "Oh, yeah, doing a film on your phone is ridiculous." But we're gonna get into your film and talk about it later in a little bit. But, it's so professional now with the phones. The phones are, like, amazing,
Yeah.
right? And then, of
Hmm.
course, the talent behind it, because I could not put that together on a phone. But,
Thanks.
so we're gonna talk a little bit share about your journey, but I'm gonna ask you a couple
Sure.
questions to
Okay.
guide you in the direction I wanna go. Okay, so I'm gonna start early interests and beginnings, right? So
Hmm.
when did you realize that you had an interest in performing arts? And what was it first? Like, was it music? Was it singing, acting?
It was definitely singing. um, I don't. I don't know. I mean, it was definitely singing because I always say we because of Victoria. We. I'll say I. I always sang around the house. So, like, growing up,
Yes.
I have to say we. Me and Victoria both did it,
You
but
can
we
say
always
you can
sang
say
around the
it. Yes,
house.
yes. And I
um,
loved it. I loved hearing it, but I didn't realize how much I loved it until you guys weren't here, and then I'm like, "I miss that singing. I miss
I
that
know.
loud singing from the
So
morning until the
annoying.
night when I'm on the
Yeah, we
phone
were
or
a
doing
lot.
something."
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it was a lot. I didn't know because I was doing it, but yeah, I think singing definitely was the first love. Just like singing around the house and then doing like all the talent shows in school, doing like Hudson Valley's Got Talent,
Oh, yeah.
which
Oh,
is
yeah. Talk about that a
yeah,
minute. That was so cool. That was
yeah,
so
that was
cool.
cool. That was me and my sister um did separate performances, but I think we this might be a different story, but I'm pretty sure we auditioned. They filmed us in a room, if I'm remembering correctly.
I think that was the
Right?
same one. Yes, I'm pretty sure we went to Kingston and we were in a room,
Yeah,
like a dance room or something, like that
I think so.
size.
And I feel like I was holding something in my pocket. That's such a random memory, but I don't know if I had like I don't know if I had a cross in my I had something for good luck in my
Oh,
pocket. I'm pretty
maybe.
sure. But,
Yes, yes.
yeah, we auditioned. I don't know what song or if it was the same songs we sang maybe, but we auditioned in there and then we got it. It's all a blur because it was in 5th grade. But then,
Yeah.
yeah, we performed on a stage. I sang, what did I
Oh, what did
say?
you sing?
Victoria sang "Jesus Take the Wheel,"
And you Oh gosh, I could see
right?
you singing
I
it and
sang
biting your lip. I
Carrie
don't
Underwood. Yeah, I know.
What was the song?
Oh, it was the 18 years have
Oh,
gone.
sing it for us. Let's hear it.
No. Oh, don't forget to remember me.
Yes,
By
yes.
Carrie Underwood.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
That was fun. Yeah, that was cool. We literally went out on stage. It was probably my first time performing
Mhm.
in a dark auditorium with a crowd, and it was like
Yeah.
we hung out with all the kids. I don't even know, but we waited backstage. I don't know if Victoria or me went first, but I remember waiting backstage, and then we switched.
Yeah.
Oh, I think me and Victoria got one time slot
Yes,
also, which was so stupid.
and she had to run out like a bat out
Oh,
of
that was so
hell.
annoying because they introduced, I think, both of us in the beginning or something, and that
I
we
know.
could just,
Thank goodness,
whatever.
though, you got to sing your full songs, and it was we have it still
That's true.
recorded. We still have it. We
Mhm.
have
Oh,
it.
yeah.
It's so great.
Yeah, it was fun, and then everyone was clapping with mine.
Yes,
It was
yes.
fun.
It was really cool. I loved that.
Yeah, I was so nervous,
I
but
know. And it was a
it
big
was really cool.
theater. It was, up in Kingston. It was the, Bardavon not
It
the
was
Bar the,
the U-Pack.
U-Pack. So it was a
Mhm.
big theater, but,
It was
all the
cool.
diehards, and we had our Camille was there too, so dad was there, Camille was
Oh,
there. Was
yeah,
Aunt
and Grandma
Susie there?
Poppy.
I don't remember. Sorry, Aunt Susie, if you're listening. Um,
I only remember the picture, so I'm not
yeah, I
sure.
don't know, but I know it was a long time. We waited
Yeah.
a long
Oh god.
time. But,
There were a lot of people.
oh, so great.
But yeah, it was
Oh, it was so
fun.
fun. So, if you have another, because I was gonna ask you about, like, your favorite memory from your early years, like, that reflects your growing passion for performing, would that be it, or do you have something else that might be it?
I don't know. So that definitely was cool. I kind of forgot about that one. So, but that one was definitely fun for like singing. I don't know. That's like a hard question because I feel like my passion is growing more now than it did when I was younger, if that makes sense. Because I feel like I don't have like it's not the typical story of like, oh, I've always just had a passion and desire to do this, which I guess it kind of to an extent. But I feel like when I was younger, I just did it. Like we did the community theater plays that we did and
Oh, right.
like over the summer like musicals and plays
Mhm.
and because our high school didn't have a great performing arts
No.
section.
No, it didn't.
Um
No.
but the one that was cool was Elizabeth, our friend
Yeah.
from high school, putting on her own shows, and she would like, I think she did a mashup of Disney shows and whatever. So it was like all our friends in the cast and crew. That was actually really fun. I think that inspired me because we brought to our principal in high school to direct and cast our own show because we weren't happy with like what shows and everything we got to do in high school, so we wanted to put on our own. We just got too busy senior year, but
Mhm.
it was a cool that probably maybe that was the initial like I want to direct and cast my own stuff,
Right, because she
like
wrote them too,
seeing her
right?
do it.
So she wrote
Yeah,
the
she
whole
would
thing.
write them and then mash it like with a variety of different like Disney plots and stuff. But
Mhm.
she wrote the whole thing. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
were great. They were really
they were
good. They
cool.
were
Yeah,
really
they were
good.
really good.
So that makes a
And it was
lot.
fun. It was just all friends performing.
Yeah.
So that I guess yeah, that would probably be also like a growing. That was probably one of the better, probably one of the best high school experiences because it was like our friend was directing, and then all our friends were in it.
What I
So
love
it was
is
cool.
all of you and you guys, I can speak about you because knowing
Mhm.
you, living with you forever, but your friends too, everyone took it seriously. It
Yeah,
never seemed like, "Oh, Elizabeth just, I don't have time,"
hmm
or, "I'm doing something."
and then
No, everybody
I
did
also
it.
want to correct too. It was Elizabeth and Katie. I'm pretty sure they did it.
Okay.
They were both side by side doing it. I don't remember exactly, but yeah, everyone took it super seriously. Like
Yeah.
we didn't not take them serious because they're our age, but they still scared me sometimes. I still was like, if I don't know my lines, I'm gonna get in trouble. So
I love it. I love it. You're gonna have to tell her to listen to this so she realizes how
yeah, I
the two of
know.
them.
They took them seriously.
Yes. Oh my
They were
gosh.
really good though. It was really cool. It was a really good experience. There was the time it was the show with where I was Maleficent, Victoria was purple. I forget
Oh,
Ursula.
Ursula.
I
Yes.
think
Yes.
was it that one? Yeah, everyone like the few nights before did not know their lines. It was
Oh.
just a mess. It was probably the scariest on-stage experience I've had is figuring out the lines for that. I definitely wasn't professional then. We were all like just not knowing what's going. It was so scary.
Oh my god.
But I'm surprised we pulled it off, thankfully.
That's really great. It's important
Yeah.
to take it seriously, because I think, like, we even talk about being nervous about things and everything, like, even getting on here. I get nervous even though it's you. It's like I get
Me
nervous
too.
because we want right? We talked about it, being nervous because it's important. We wanna do things and you wanna do it not right, that's not the right word, but you wanna do it with your full being,
Mhm.
which is so important. It's important with
Yeah.
everything that you do, you
Mhm.
know? S
Yeah.
so on stage and on camera, because on camera is another part of what you're loving right now too, um, how did your singing performances and on-camera acting shape your understanding of the performing arts? Does that make sense, that question?
A little. Yeah, I think so it's a hard also because I wanna do on-camera acting, but I've never really done much of it. But I've taken classes and I've done a few things. But, I mean, I would say, I guess, just that, like, the performing arts is a variety of different things. Like, it shows you that, like, it doesn't just have to be this or that. Like, it's not just Broadway, it's not just film, it's not just singing, it's, like, a variety of different things.
Right.
Like
Right.
a mashup of everything. Yeah, you literally can make anything the arts.
Yeah. It
If that
encompasses
makes sense. Yeah.
yeah, it encompasses so many different things. So that's
Mhm.
true. That is true.
Yeah.
And so because of voice acting, right? A lot of the times people say like, you should take singing lessons or you should, because it helps with like the flow maybe of things
And
like
like
that.
control, I guess.
Yeah, right? And just yeah, the control and then maybe
Or
just
breathing and
the
stuff, maybe.
breathing for sure, because I always run out of breath.
Mhm.
So do you
Yeah.
find that your skills, say, in singing influence your acting or vice versa, like your acting influences your singing, or what do you think? Do they complement each other or they're completely separate?
I think they complement each other. I think more so from what I connect to is that singing would complement act or the acting would complement singing.
Mhm.
Like if I'm singing a song, like for an audition for musical theater's easiest because they are made for that, like for the emotion in the songs. But yeah, I think that the acting complements the singing for me. Because if I'm singing like a musical theater song, like about heartbreak or about loss or something like that, um, it's it's easier to I've noticed like it's easier to hit the notes and like be on key and everything if you're in the moment, like if you're knowing what the song's about and like what your emotions are, and if you're just connecting to the song, it's easier to just let it go and like it's just easier to hit all the notes and everything.
Yeah, that makes sense with connecting.
Yeah, and like be emotional. Like your voice is different when you're connected versus when you're not.
Mhm. No, that's true. I agree with that. That's true. I agree. It's just like in voiceover, if I don't connect with the script, it's the worst thing. Listen to it later, it's
Yeah,
horrible. It's like
yeah, you can hear it. Like,
it's amazing what comes out in your voice alone, when you're not
mhm.
connecting. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's
Oh
crazy.
my gosh. So I wanna talk about, WestCon.
It's kind
So
of
it was a cool thing, and I'm glad you chose that because,
mhm.
your choices were other schools, right? Um,
Yeah,
to
there were a few.
to stay local or there were other
Or
ones
like
in the city.
like there was a Long Island
Oh,
one, the
yes.
city. The drive was just so bad.
Right, right. Yeah. So did
Yeah.
you, Well, first of all, I'm assuming, but I won't assume for you, that you're happy with the choice of WestCon.
I am. I'm happy with it because we have all of our friends from WestCon.
Yes, yes, and
And it
and
was.
Hondro would not exist,
Oh
who is her
yeah, Andrew,
boyfriend.
my boyfriend, would not exist without my best friend Serena from WestCon introducing us.
Yes, yes.
But
We could say they were all Navy guys, right, living in one
yeah,
house, and you would
uh-huh.
have never met Hondro.
I know, so that is
Oh
good.
my
I'm
gosh.
thankful for that. Yeah, that is one of the best things that came out of WestCon was like friends and everything. Um, I I learned a good amount. If I went back and like could have the same friends and everything,
Mhm.
I would maybe choose a different school, like just a different program.
Okay.
But no, I'm happy with how it turned out. I feel like I learned a lot, and I wouldn't learn like if I went to a school just for acting, I wouldn't have learned behind the scenes stuff that
Right.
I did at WestCon. Yeah,
And it was theater performance, right?
yeah,
Um,
stage performance.
what
Yeah.
was good was visiting schools. Some of the schools, I can't remember which one it was, but they wouldn't even let you be in anything until, like, your 3rd year or something. It was like I
Oh
felt like
yeah, they taught
WestCon
you the craft.
right, from the beginning, you were involved, right? I feel like that you were.
Yeah, it was from the beginning we were involved in WestCon because you had to be involved in some sort of way, but not necessarily in the main stage shows.
Mhm.
It was a good learning experience because we were involved in like behind the scenes. We were mandatory like to be involved behind the scenes. You switch from like prop crew, paint crew, set crew,
Mhm.
lighting, stuff like that. Yeah, so that was cool because
Right,
I learned a lot about that, which I actually really liked. Um,
right.
and then you also had all like different like acting classes. I think there was a few acting classes, and then when if you didn't get cast in a main stage production, you also got to do like one acts, which is the student directed ones
Right.
that you were able to be in. Yeah,
And
so
you
it was cool.
and you also directed. Didn't you direct one okay, 'cause I
Yeah,
remember coming
that
to
was senior year. Yeah.
okay, okay, so you got to
hmm
direct, which might have got maybe that got you, like, thinking the directing part. Did you think about it before you actually had to do it, or you liked it when you did it?
I liked it when I did it. I didn't think about directing or anything, right? Like directing or filmmaking, honestly, until I'm doing this production class through NYU right now, currently.
Right,
So I wasn't thinking about it, except for like, oh, I have to do it for this class.
right.
But I do like it a lot. I have a directing book from WestCon, like that I bought. Um, and I think that maybe that was like the initial. I feel like I've always been since WestCon, like between like acting and behind the scenes.
Right,
So
right.
I like them both a lot, where I wouldn't be like mad if I was working behind the scenes
Mhm.
in like a production company, like, or even theater
Right.
doing like work, because I just like all of it.
Which is great too, and because even you did some costume things, or did you not in
Oh,
school? Yeah,
yeah.
because you're
Yes,
you're
I forgot
great
about
at
that.
sewing and doing all that cool stuff that you inherited that from Poppy, my dad,
I
the
know.
tailor, born in you.
Yeah.
So you did that. You
Yeah.
also, besides in school, remember too, right? I just wanted to bring up the other things you do, right? Didn't you do, other things on did you do audio or no? No, when you were
Victoria did audio.
what did
I
you did
did
camera. Oh,
lighting.
lighting, that's right.
hmm
That
Yeah. Oh, that was fun. I missed that.
that was not easy either.
Yeah, no, we did like dance shows and lots of lights, and I do miss that. I like lighting a lot. If I could work lighting on Broadway
Mhm.
musicals, that would be so cool.
Yeah. And you did
Yeah.
yeah, and you also did it at, the Bardavon? The Bardavon. A couple of times? A few
Yeah, only
times?
once.
Oh, just once?
Yeah, I
Okay.
did it once. Yeah, but I like the system. I did it in school for a project, and I did it for all the one act, like 13 one acts
Mhm.
lighting for, yeah.
Cool.
I would work late. That's what I miss about it. Yeah, I miss that about school. About like I would go to I was in Much Ado About Nothing, a Shakespeare
Oh,
performance.
yes,
So
yes.
I would go to that. I think we had the show, and then it probably ends at like, I don't know, 10:30 p.m. And then I would go right into the black box and do some lighting cues until like 12,
Right.
maybe 12 o'clock, midnight. And that was just fun.
That's
It's
cool.
tiring, that, but it was fun.
It's cool. When you love something like that, it doesn't matter what time it is. I mean, you wanna get sleep. Sometimes you're like, "I'm so exhausted," but there are things like you're like, "I wanna do this, and I wanna try this," or if you have an
Mhm.
idea to do something, you know? I feel like I do that too when I was, setting up my new microphone. I'm like, "I'm tired, but I'm gonna go do it," because you
Yeah.
love it so much. So, you mentioned the NYU class, so tell me about that because I wanna hear about your film.
Sure. Yeah. Um, so it's through Yellow Brick, I think it's yellowbrick.com. It's an NYU course that they offer like a bunch of different courses. I learned about it because Victoria was doing my sister was doing one for like music production, I think, or
Oh,
something.
okay, yeah, yep.
Um, so my class, yeah, my production class that I'm doing, it's like TV and film production. I think there's a longer name, but basically it's that. Oh yeah, film and TV industry production class. But yeah, it's through NYU. It's all online. So I have a year to finish it. It's 5 different modules. This is boring, but
No, it's not. It's not boring.
basically,
When is it due? What's you have a whole
it's due September 2nd. So in like
Oh,
two and something. By the time we're filming
it's
this, two and a
almost
half
a
weeks.
year?
Almost a year. I started it right before we moved, which was a mistake because I
Oh.
didn't have. Because then I did that internship watching films for
Yeah.
3 months that took so much time out of here. Um,
What was that about? That was you had to, critique
that
them?
yeah, sorry, we're bouncing all over, but yeah, we had to. Yeah, I was watching. It's just being on the jury for a film internship, like a really small film internship. I was able to get on, and it's just watching student films.
Mhm.
Um, Yeah, and it was just like critiquing them, judging them, and I had to watch 10 hours a week, so I didn't do any of my production class for like 3 months.
Right.
So that was a lot. But
But I think, like, even though the critiquing of those, that was you got a certificate or is that we got at the end of it or
mhm.
whatever, even that, I think every little thing you do sometimes I feel like people think, like, what are you doing? And are you getting paid for it or whatever? 'Cause some things are not getting paid for, you get the experience. It's like,
Yeah.
it's going to school for free, you're getting to do something, learn something else. And even if halfway through you're like, why am I doing this? You're still learning something from it, you
Yeah.
know?
That's true. Well, cuz I didn't know I guess I didn't really know I was going to make a film in this production class when I started it. So I just watched what is that? It was like 3 months, 180 hours or something. I don't know, of
Wow.
student films. That might have been made up, but like a lot of student films. So then I
Yeah.
can compare like what I saw and what was didn't work versus what did, and then
Oh.
I was able to like. I didn't actively think of it when I was filming it, but I was able to watch my back and be like, okay, like if I saw this in the student film,
Yeah.
jury, I wouldn't be so bored.
Right. Oh, see, I didn't even think of that. That is so cool. That really is a
Yeah.
cool thing that's what you got out of that is to, go and
Mhm.
make this better without even realizing it and learning it that way.
Yeah.
That's really cool. That's a really good thing that came
Yeah.
out of it. So
It was cool.
so with this class, before getting to
Mhm.
this part of doing the film, what else did you have to do? This is through NYU and you had to do different modules, right?
Yeah. So like the first one was like history of film and then it was history of TV, which is it was actually really interesting. The
Mhm.
film goes way back, so it's a little more hard to follow because it's a while, but TV is like more recent.
Mhm.
Um, and then I think it starts the film, like starting your own film. I had to do a music video storyboard, which is just where you draw out stick figures because I can't draw different pictures of like what happens in each. I'm still learning how to exactly do all that, but what happens in each like different scene, and
Mhm.
then I did that for a music video, and then it goes into like making a film. So I had to write a script and come up with an idea, and yeah, submit like a draft I think of my script, and then go on to like make a shot list, which is like what you film, which is still confusing to me. Um, yeah, it was a lot of learning. So it wasn't perfect, but it was cool. And then we filmed, and then I edited it, and now yeah.
And it was great, so I'm not done talking about it. I want to know, okay, it was so great. So will I be able to post the YouTube? link for people to see
Yeah,
after? Okay, good, because I'm going to
sure.
do that. I'm going to make sure I do it in my post and in
I'll
the
tell
show
Victoria and
notes.
Paco so they
Yes, yes.
consent.
Yes, they have to write on what is that called? Whatever that is, a release form.
Yeah.
So I want to know, okay, so tell me about the film. Like, first of all, what was the inspiration behind it? And like, what was there a message that you were trying to convey, or how did you pick that? Because it was so good. It was so
Thanks.
good.
Yeah, originally, I don't know exactly how I got the idea. I know there was a day that it came to me. It wasn't exactly like this though. So I was gonna do it from the girl's point of view, and it was gonna be like, well, this is gonna give the film
I know.
away,
I'm trying to think. I'm like, don't give the whole film away. But you can give the synopsis of what the film is, because this way they get what they. And there are people,
that's true.
right? I mean, you can just give the
Yeah,
story of the film, and it was
that's
how
true.
long? How long was it? Like
It's 6 minutes,
6 minutes, and it was
which I'm
it was so
glad I cut it
powerful.
down.
It was a
Oh,
powerful
good.
6 minutes. I was
Thanks.
I was so mad at Paco, who was acting in it.
That's so funny. And Paco's my sister's boyfriend, and they both acted for me, which is
Yes, and I
great.
was not happy with his choices. Let's just say that. Paco was not happy, but he was playing a part,
Yeah.
so they did a good
Mhm.
job of
Yeah,
it.
they did. Um, but yeah, okay, I'll give you a synopsis and then I'll tell you what I was gonna do. But it's basically this girl and her boyfriend. So she's contemplate.
Oh, tell me the title. The title will help too. Tell me the
Oh,
title.
it's difficult
I
decisions.
love it. I love it.
It's Hondra came up with it.
Good job,
Um,
Hondro. Good job.
um, yeah. So basically, she's choosing between her passion, career, and her boyfriend, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's like the
Right.
main conflict in there. It's just kind of like surrounding that.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't want to say too much because it's 6 minutes, so we could just be like, "This is what happens."
Right.
But so if anyone wants to watch it,
You want to watch it, believe me. It's really good.
I originally was going to do a different synopsis, like a different point where it's like where it would start with her leaving him
Mm-hmm.
and choosing herself, and then it would be like, oh, I don't think you. This is where I got it from. I saw the movie Someone Great. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. I don't
Oh,
know if you've seen it, but it
no.
basically is a synopsis of that. It'd probably be like ripping it off a little bit, but it would be like starting with her leaving him, and then it would just be going back and forth with like, her moving on, like a process of like her moving on and becoming, stronger and better. But I think one, I didn't want it to be super cliche, but which it still kind of is. But also, I realized she'd have no lines. I can't just film her by herself because I couldn't be in it as her sister. We look too much alike, and also I'm directing, and so it would just be like a bunch of nothing. So I decided to start it with them, like their conflict
Mm-hmm.
stuff. And also, they gave me pointers on like how to shape the script. It was like Act One should have this, Act Two should have like the big blow up, Act Three should be the resolution. So
Oh, that's good.
they did
That's
help me
good.
do that. Yeah,
Oh, that's great. That's great.
yeah.
Were they really interactive? Was it all through like email and stuff? Did you have time to meet anyone?
No, that I could have done, but it was like $500 more.
Okay. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but it's all online. Like anyone can take the course. You can start it now and start from the beginning. Like it's just continuously online.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it was cool. And the other thing I wanted to like encompass in like the script and everything, which I had more in there, but I had to cut down for time's sake because it's not supposed to be like 10-minute long, 15-minute long film.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to do a film about like a powerful like woman
Right.
and like doing what's best for her
Yeah.
because of all the women in our family. And yeah, I
Oh.
wanted I wanted to do something like
I
that,
love
just
that.
like a powerful, strong woman, like doing what's best for her, and like
I love that. I
yeah.
love that. That's so cool. Don't make me
Thanks.
cry. We do come from a long line of powerful women.
Yeah, so I was like, I want to do something with that.
Oh, that's very cool. I love it.
Yeah.
Definitely, definitely. I can't say enough about it. And I'm not just saying it because you're my daughter, because I passed it around to many people, and everyone really loved it. I mean, really got
Yay.
into it. And just in that, I can't believe it was that short 6 minutes, because it was powerful and jam packed. And I was like, and I would like to see. Will there be a sequel?
There could. I hadn't thought about that until Camille,
Yeah.
our cousin, was like, "I need to know what happens next."
Yes.
Hi,
Yes.
Camille. Yeah, she was like, "I need to know what happens next." Like, do they? Well, I won't say all, in
Yeah.
case anyone wants to watch it. But
Yes.
I could. I don't know. I have the actors here, so.
Yes. Yes. And it was very well done, and the filming was really phenomenal. It really was.
Thank you.
And
I'm glad.
yeah.
I don't. I think because I was staring at it for so long, I
Mhm.
haven't watched it fully since I submitted it or sent it to you, because I was looking at
Yeah.
it for so long, editing it.
Yeah.
I can't tell if it looks professional or not.
It does. It really does. And also, I threw it up on the TV. It was YouTube, so I watched it on the TV, and I was like, "Yes, I love this." Like, just a great movie,
Yay.
really. And how did you feel when you didn't watch it, so you can't say that you
I saw it. I mean, well,
well, you
I
didn't
just
watch
saw
it
it all together.
through the eyes of a
Not,
movie. You watched it through the eyes
yeah,
of
I watched
finishing.
it like, is it done? Yeah, I think me and Handra are gonna watch it at some point, like on the screen, hopefully, like at the TV. I was like, give me a few weeks to like, not see it, since
Yeah.
I was looking at it for hours, and then seeing it on TV, like a TV screen, would probably be a little bit easier to be like, oh, that looks okay.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
That's cool. So, speaking of, like, sequels and stuff, so for you, like, what's next on the horizon? Your creative horizon? Any new projects, ideas?
Mhm. Me and Victoria are gonna try to film a music video for her,
Oh, that's gonna be
so that'll be cool.
great. And for those of you that
Yeah.
don't know, which you should know by now, Victoria is a singer-songwriter, and her story is on podcast too, and one of the
She sings
episodes.
the intro.
What?
She sings your
Oh, I'm
intro.
sorry. Yes, she created the Time to Elevate theme song. So, yes.
Yeah, so that'll be fun. She has to pick a song that we want to do. Yeah, so I think that'll be cool, because
Yeah,
I learned about, like, I was looking at music video stuff on my class too, so I think that would be fun.
nice.
Yeah, and then she'll help me too. Like, it won't just be me directing and in charge. She'll like also figure out what she wants to do with it. So
That's
that'll be cool.
that is really cool. That is really cool. So,
Yeah.
what do I want to ask you next? I have a choice. I get my choice. You know what? I'm going to ask you my signature question. Did you
Okay.
know about my signature question?
I don't know. I think you told me, but I don't
Okay, I didn't
remember.
send it to you because I figured I like to get a real answer. So, if you can, share a moment in your life or career of resilience, divine intervention, or a time you had to pivot.
Ooh. This question stressed me out because I never know a time in my life.
It could be
Um,
career, it could be personal. Don't involve your mother, she'll wanna be in it. And,
this is a hard question. Because I haven't had too much experience yet.
You've had more than you think, okay, in
Maybe
your
my
26 ye
memory.
26? 26
Yeah.
years. I'm losing count. In your 26
I don't
years.
have specific moments because I have a really bad memory, but at specific things. But I think I probably would say time of resilience. My most resilient is having to deal with my anxiety,
Mhm.
because I have a lot of it. I have a lot of it, but then I don't. It's different instances. But like, if I'm home, I feel great.
Right. Right.
This is so bad. But I always am anxious just going to work and leaving the house. And
Mhm.
it sounds like such a baby
No,
thing,
it
but like, I feel like
doesn't.
a lot of.
You have no idea. You have no idea how many people have things and how nervous I get with things. You have no idea.
Yeah. So I have a lot of that. So I think just probably there are a lot of times that I could just like not, and just like stay home and not do. I would love to get an online job, yeah, work from home job, and like do that for the rest of my life. But I also know that I would just, I would probably be more anxious staying home, but also I want to do acting.
Mhm.
So that's always in the back of my brain of like, I'm gonna be anxious if I get a project. Like if I get a film, I feel like everyone probably thinks like that would be the greatest thing ever. You're so excited. I would probably not want to go.
Yeah, I
If
get
I
it.
got
I get
if
it.
I got a film project that was either important, even if I was just a production assistant, I would probably not want to go in the morning. I'd rather stay home, even if I
Right.
was starting to live my dream. I would rather sit in bed.
I get it.
But
I get it.
yeah.
I totally get that feeling. I get that feeling of like, you're like, why did I do this? But the thing is you make yourself do it.
Mhm.
And that's huge. That's huge.
Yeah. Yeah, that would probably be my biggest resilience or like
Mhm.
accomplishment of like just continuing to do things even though I'm anxious because I know that if I the more that I avoid things, the more anxious I am. So,
Right, right, and that's really great that you noticed that because it's so easy to be like, I'll just stay home, or I'll just figure out how I don't have to do stuff, or cancel things at the last minute, or whatever. Is there anything that helps you at all, like, just to get through it, or do you just do it?
when I don't like feeling sick, so I'm anxious I'll feel sick, but I also feel sick when I'm anxious. So,
So it's like a cycle, right? It's like a vicious
it
cycle.
is.
It's like
Yeah, it's stupid.
you don't wanna feel sick, but you feel sick because you're anxious. It makes you sick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, going to work, I just kind of go through. I'm like, I'll just go home if I don't feel good,
right,
which I've yet to do, but
right.
I'm still anxious it'll happen.
It
But
right, right.
but for auditioning, which I realized like when it was a few months ago, I think me and Victoria were auditioning for some plays, some musicals and plays downtown in Charleston, which was cool.
Mhm.
Um, but with that, I realized like I started to frame my mind of like, okay, if I don't feel good now, like I'll have to do auditions in life when I don't feel good, so I'm just practicing. Because
Right.
odds are I will not feel good every audition I have
Right, right.
because of anxiety. So I'm
Yeah.
just practicing how I'll handle it in the future. So that's how I frame that one. Like if it has to do with my career or whatever, I'll just like use it as an exposure, as a learning like exposure to be like, let's do this now so
Right.
we can just expect to not feel good and do it anyway.
Right, right. I think that's great. No, it's important to do that, and I think so many people I'd be surprised if there was somebody who says, "I never get nervous and I never feel," and if they are, I think they're lying. Because, even, like, actors and stuff, they always say, like, they're so nervous, and it's just it
Yeah, and you wouldn't think
you
that.
wouldn't think it.
You're
You wouldn't
fake.
think it.
You're perfect. I mean, I
I
yeah.
Right? And so many people think that I never get nervous doing anything. I'm nervous all the time. I'm nervous all the time. I just do it. Sometimes right before I'm like, "God, my stomach, why is my stomach bothering me?" And I don't realize it's because 'cause I'm nervous, and then when I go, "Oh, I know. Okay, I'm nervous. I'll just breathe." And I
Yeah.
breathe. I'll try breathing. I'll try the box
Yeah.
breathing just because that helps. I remember taking a class and I might have told you this one already, the one down at Actors, Connection. It was just a
Mhm.
class. It wasn't even an audition. It was a class. I was so nervous, and it was, like, in front just I had to get up and just do a scene with somebody, right? I was so nervous that I didn't even know my own voice when it when it came I'm like, "Who is talking?" That
Oh
I
god.
swore I remember it so vividly, I swore I would never do that again. I would never get to the point where I made myself that, like, nervous and horrible.
Yeah.
So I after that thing, I worked at it to not get to that point. Just throw it out of
I
your
know
head.
because it's it's dumb. Like it's not dumb, but the amount of like panic that anxiety and like nerves give you is like,
Yeah.
if you were just sitting on the sideline watching someone, you'd be like, "Why are you nervous?" Like you're just talking, or
Right.
you're just doing this or that, but like your brain is like, "Oh my god."
Right, right? I know, and that's what
Yeah.
happens. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for sharing that because that's important.
Crazy.
That's an important thing for,
Yeah.
because so many
Yeah.
people have the same
Mhm.
thing, really.
I know, and you'd never know.
I know, I know. So it's nice to hear when you know you're not alone, and that's important.
Yeah. Mhm.
So I do want to say like, thinking about so far with your journey, right, going, just learning along the way, whether from younger to go to school and all that with all your acting and, directing and filmmaking, what advice would you give to somebody who was looking to get into acting or either any of that, acting, directing, filmmaking, what advice if they're like, I want to do it, what do I do? Where do I start? What do you think?
Ooh, I don't know. That's hard because I feel like well, I'm definitely still new in like the whole career, everything. Um, here's one. I would probably not don't compare yourself to everyone else around you because they start at very different points.
Yeah.
Like, because I was about to compare myself, so I wouldn't compare yourself to people around you because like or your age and be like, oh, I should be so much further along than this. It's been years, all this stuff,
Mm-hmm.
or even just like that was something from WestCon from college that I guess that's also something that I learned from there too is like everyone comes from different backgrounds. Like I went to school with people who were in performing arts high schools and I would compare myself to them and be like, why am I not as good as them? But like they had great high school programs and I did not have that.
Right.
And
Right.
and they just took it more seriously and then I did not. So it's just like people come from all different backgrounds. So I just wouldn't put yourself in that box of like I
Mm-hmm.
should be better than this or I should be like them. Yeah.
Right. That's good advice because the comparing game is not good. It's not good. Because
Yeah, no.
I heard somebody say, or it was a quote of something, or like, don't compare your weaknesses, I think it is, against someone else's strengths, because
Oh
then you feel
yeah.
like, why can't I do that or whatever? Like, it could be anything. It could be anything at all,
Mhm.
and then we just compare. We have this crazy thing. So it's good. It's hard with social media and stuff, but when you get in your brain not that you're not gonna compare, you can tune that out. You can still see things and be like, not have it affect you, but it takes work. It takes work to do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. That reminded me of a quote. Let me look it up really quick.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone is a genius, but if you judge a fish on its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing it is stupid.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's perfect. That perfectly goes with
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
So I like that one. I think I read that one like a few years ago. I was like, that's true.
Oh, I like
You're
that.
not meant to climb a tree.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be in the water.
That's right. So you can't
Yeah.
compare, don't compare yourself like that. Oh my
Mhm.
gosh. So was there anything I didn't ask you that you wanted to share or talk about?
I don't know.
Are
Um,
there times when you're like, "Forget it. I don't wanna do this. I just want a 9 to 5. Leave me alone. Give me money."
yes.
And then
Yes.
and then
Yeah,
reality goes, "No, I don't want
sucks.
that. I don't
Yeah.
want."
Right now I'm in the I don't want that. I don't want a job in general.
Mhm.
But but I well when I moved from New York to Connecticut, um and I started paying rent for the first time, which was unfun.
Oh, no. Not
Um
fun at all.
no. Then I got the 9 to 5. I was like, I need a 9 to 5, and once I get that job, then I'll do some acting, I'll figure out stuff around it. But that didn't happen. I feel like that's the story. Everyone's like, I'll do things,
Yeah.
while I'm working, but I never did. Like
Right.
for a year and change, yeah, like a year.
Mhm.
Um, I like was doing the 9 to 5, which was cool. I worked in a dermatologist's office, got some free skin products.
Nice.
And I liked it a lot. I did, but I stopped because I was moving, and then when I moved here to Charleston, I got two full time jobs, 9 to 5s, a little funky hours, but I got two full time. And now I'm finally at a restaurant doing like 30 hours a week.
Yeah.
Um, but it's a lot better. It's like, it's not 9 to 5s. It's like sometimes it's all day I'm there, but then I get 2 days off, and it's just a lot better for acting.
Mhm.
And just what I would rather be doing because I like the stability of the 9 to 5. It gave me more money,
Right.
better. I knew exactly what my hours were every week.
Mhm.
But it also was boring. I don't want to say soul crushing. That's kind of
You can
dramatic,
say
but maybe a little soul crushing.
it c you
When
can
I
say
moved,
that.
yeah, it was a little. I really liked it in Norwalk, and then I moved to a different office. Like besides that, it just kind of got like my job position kind of changed. It was just not what I wanted to be doing,
Mhm.
and it was cool though. I mean, I definitely was debating like I was debating maybe going into some medical thing just for a brief second. Like
Mm-hmm.
maybe working in an office, that could be fun. Like we got free stuff all the time because people came to see doctors and brought us coffee every day.
Right,
I
right.
got free food every day. I saved so much money on groceries. But
Nice, nice.
so nice. But it was just wasn't what I wanted to be doing, and I didn't realize until I moved because I took a break from acting.
Mm-hmm.
Because COVID happened, and I don't know if I really ever got back after COVID. But then I took a break because of rent,
Mm-hmm.
and then I moved to Charleston, and I was like, no, I need to do this. I didn't know if I wanted to be an actor. I was trying to go behind the scenes to avoid it. I was like, let me work behind the scenes. I almost went to a second, what is that, master's, to get a master's in the tech field because I
Yeah.
didn't want to act because I don't know. I think I just wasn't confident,
Mm-hmm.
and and also that's another thing with like in college I wasn't really, they didn't cast everybody like the same amount, so it's just, which is
Right.
fair, like everyone different skills, but I don't think I got as much as I would have liked to out of like, I
Mm-hmm.
didn't get to perform as much as I would have hoped in college.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was like, maybe I'll do behind the scenes because that's what I mostly did in college, and it was fun.
Right.
And then I was like, oh, maybe I'll be what's it called? A casting director, because then I can help people get into things.
Right.
Um, and I feel like I was doing all that just to avoid trying to act because that
Mm-hmm.
seems harder and also scarier because I want to do that.
Right.
So it took a while for me to be like, no, I should like, I like tipped my toes back in. I was like, let me see if I like it. Let me try to do it correctly and but I think I want to do it. I also am open to my mind changing as I'm going. Like I'm not tied to it. I
Mm-hmm.
would definitely know I want to do something in the industry because everything else sounds bad and boring. I don't
Right.
know. I just don't know what else I would do if I'm not like in film
Mm-hmm.
or theater, even hopefully film ideally, but yeah, I just feel like everything else is boring.
Yeah. Well, that's
Yeah,
good. That's
it's not to
good.
say people are boring,
No.
it's just for me, I can't see myself doing it.
Right. And it is, if it's not something you love and really are passionate about, then it
Yeah,
is boring, you know? And
yeah,
then
yeah, because other people like other things, like people do like that, doctor, like all this. That was a drastic one, but
Right.
anything like any office jobs or like
Mhm.
I don't know if anyone likes customer service, but customer service,
Yeah.
like things like that, like if you're doing it and you love it, that's awesome.
Right.
But I don't.
Right. So basically, love what you do. That's another thing, right? That's another, I have that
Yeah.
shirt that says, "Do what you love," or
Yeah.
"Do
I
it."
think
Yeah.
you should get a job you enjoy because
Mhm.
it's the majority of your life.
Right.
You're gonna spend the most time there.
Mhm.
So I feel like it's not worth it to like settle for a job that doesn't, make you happy if you don't like going to it every day.
Right.
What's the point?
And that's the key.
Which
That's
stinks
the
because
key.
people have to do that for money, which is like
Right. No, but
get into
true.
America, but
True. True. But you can find a job that you love. Right?
true.
People, not you, I'm saying people in general, if
Yeah.
that, they wanna do a 9 to 5, they wanna be, they can find a job they love, you know? I know along in my lifetime, looking for other jobs, even, younger and stuff like that, I'd be like, "I just want a job where I love the people, and I love being there, and I don't have a stipulation because I wanna do
Yeah.
other things. I wanna do, creative things, but I need to
Yeah.
make money." And so, but I wanna love it. So
True. I guess, yeah, like find a job that can stand going to. Not even just stand, but you like going to. It doesn't even have to be a
right.
passion, but because I know like like not many people are probably fortunate enough to have a job that they're passionate about. Like
Right.
not enough people like because you do need to pay bills. Like things,
Mhm.
are something you're passionate about might not pay enough. You could do it on the side. But
Right. Right.
yeah, I guess as long as you are going to a job that you like going to, and like I feel like
Mhm.
life is too short to like have a bad time at work every day.
I know, but it's good that you realized that you wanted to, because for a while there, I thought you weren't gonna do on camera because you're like, "I can't. I don't wanna do it.
I didn't want
I
to. I
hate
was
it. Forget
scared. Yeah, I
it."
did not want to. I don't know. I didn't even know if I was gonna want to do it when I came back into acting.
Mhm.
I don't know. I feel like I just took such a long break that I was like, I just don't want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do behind the scenes.
Right.
It seems easier. But Lorenzo, who we've
Yes.
had on here, I chatted
Yeah.
with him. He was so nice to help me out and like talk with me about everything. But he said that a lot of people do that. Like they'll be like, let me go to casting or like behind the scenes just to like, I'm pretty sure that's what he said, just to like avoid,
Right.
doing acting, which is what I was doing. Like a lot of people are like, maybe I'll do this instead.
Right. Right.
But I know that I'll regret it. That probably got me into. I know that I'll regret it if
Mm-hmm.
I'm like older and like, damn, I never gave it a shot.
Right. Right.
So
And
giving it a shot.
see, yourself, and you know, and if you wanted to stop, you would stop. But if you want to do it, you'll
Yeah.
do it. And
Mhm.
Lorenzo, so everyone knows, in case they don't know Lorenzo, which I don't know how you could not know Lorenzo. Everybody knows Lorenzo. He has a couple of episodes he's been on here, so go back and listen to him. He's
Yeah.
very, yeah. So, yeah, that's great. That's great stuff. And I'm glad to hear that you decided that, you didn't want to give up on something that you actually wanted just
Mhm.
because it seemed hard, and that's important.
Yeah.
So I would love for you to close this out with a quote.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. I wrote it down. But it kind of goes along with the anxiety stuff we were talking about. But I really like this quote because I feel like it goes along with that, and that's like kind of how I get through things sometimes. But it's courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is being afraid and doing it anyway.
I like
It's like
that.
like feel the fear and do it anyway. So
I like that a lot. I
yeah.
like that a lot. It's true. That's so true.
Mhm.
And it's not easy, but when you do it and get to the other side, it feels so good that you've
Yeah,
gotten
it
there,
does.
you know?
Yeah.
And it gets you to
Mhm.
the next step, and it's things that I remember being so afraid of certain things and then just doing it over and over and over and over, like Instagram Lives, if anybody's seen me there, that now at least I don't wanna throw up before I do it, but it's just
Yeah, it helps.
it's, like, nerve-wracking, like, "Oh my god." I was so afraid,
Mhm.
hit the button, "Oh, no." Now I'll be like, "Okay, it's alright," and it's just
I
funny,
know.
just by doing it, you do it, everything in life like that, it's true. It really
Yeah.
is. So tell me, where can people find you and follow you and all that good stuff?
Oh, I don't know. My Instagram, I don't have many things up. I think it's Julia Rose _6. I
Okay.
could be wrong.
I could put the
Um,
links. I'll definitely put the links in the show notes.
yeah, and that's like all that I don't really have any, like I don't have a website. We have
Mhm.
to make one.
Yes, you
Um,
will have one soon.
but I'll make a website and
Yes.
but I pretty much just have my Instagram that is like not barely touched.
No, but you're
But
there.
that's where you can
So,
find me. Mom
yes.
will put the YouTube link. Oh, my
Yes.
YouTube only has. Don't go searching it. No, it just has my projects from this film class that I'm doing that I have to upload to YouTube.
Yes,
But
yes. I know YouTube's one of those things. I love it, but I think I have 5 maybe I have 11 now followers because I don't overly promote it, but I put the podcast hooks up to it now and
oh
whatever. There's just
yeah,
too many things. I can't keep
I
up.
know. I'm like Twitter,
No,
Facebook.
I can't keep up. No way.
Yeah,
But,
but yeah, just my Instagram. I guess my other things are pretty unactive.
yeah.
I'll build it up
That's
later.
okay. You really don't need, I mean, really, I think one social media, whatever you want, one or even two if you wanted to, and that's it. A website, yeah, so you have stuff sitting there. It's nice to have one. Even that,
Yeah,
I don't know how much people go to it, but it's there
yeah,
in case anybody wants to
true.
go to it. But thank
Mhm.
you, Julia Rose Purdy. This was
Thanks,
so
Mom.
great. I
Yeah,
hope
it
you
was
enjoyed your time.
fun.
I enjoyed it so much.
Yeah, me too.
Oh
It
my
was a lot of
gosh. Oh my
fun.
gosh. And I'm going to give a shout out to Victoria Lynn Purdy. Thank you for our theme song. And also, if anyone wants to be a guest on Time to Elevate, feel free to reach out to me. Instagram. You can email me, timetoelevate@timetoelevate.org. And Time to Elevate has an Instagram too. But I loved spending the time, especially since you're so far away from me.
I know.
But I'll be
Oh
seeing
my
you
gosh.
in September.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, we're going to
Canada.
Montreal. Yes, can't wait. Can't
Yay.
wait.
I'm
Okay.
excited.
Yay. All right. I
Yay.
love
Thanks,
you. I love
Mom.
you.
Love you. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Life gets tough, and I know it's hard to cope with the unknown. For all of us, I know it'd be easy if we were perfect, but we're not. So we go to find our faith, to find our hope. It all begins with looking up. It all begins with you. It's time to